So, the worst genre of music, I would say probably country. Well, I don't really like rap either. Rap is no better, but I guess they're both equally lame. So, the two worst kinds of music out there would be probably rap and country. Although I do slightly, somewhat tolerate some country songs over pretty much any rap, especially any rap these days. A movie that I hated that I would never watch again, The Second Coming to America. That was so boring. That's a movie I'll never watch again. A food that's disgusting is probably salad. Salad's gross. It's healthy, but it's still gross. I don't like salad just by looking at it. So, no, salad. A gift that I got that I didn't really like, maybe any book that my mother gave me that had to do with jobs. I don't really want to receive those kind of things as a gift. And I feel like those things are really useless, not useful. So any kind of book she gave me that has to do with jobs or whatever. A holiday or annual event that I dread, pretty much any family function that has to do with my father's side at any of their houses. His side is not so bad when you hang out with them in any other environment, but by going to any of their houses anywhere, especially during football season, so that's the worst kind of thing I dread, and I do everything I can to get out of going to things like that. Pretty much anything that any of them do at any of their houses, and even when all of them come over to my house, I dread that too. So pretty much anything with their side at any houses, all of their houses are boring. Something that's illegal that shouldn't be, maybe any turns like certain right turn here or certain left turn there or even certain U turn there. I kind of see why they make the turns the way they do, but I also feel like sometimes they make it unnecessarily. And by banning that, it'll certainly be helpful in driving or getting to where you need to go faster. And so maybe when they make those turns in certain areas, saying no right turn here or no left turn there, maybe that could be banned. My thoughts on social media. Social media is awesome. I personally don't have social media, don't really want it, and feel like my life is private that I don't really want to have social media for myself. But I still think it's awesome. It's informative. It's useful and resourceful when you want to know something and to keep up with whatever or whoever. And it's awesome. But like I said, I personally don't have it and don't really have the interest to want to get it myself. Other than that, there's nothing wrong with people who want to have Facebook this or Instagram that or Twitter X, whatever you want to call that, Meta, even MySpace. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, social media is awesome. I personally just don't have it, don't want it, and probably not gonna get it unless I have to. The kind of content that I like the most, probably anything that has to do with wrestling and MMA, because those are two of my biggest passions of all time. Two of the biggest things that I'm willing to want to tell everyone, even my worst enemy, can know that about me. And the content that I would probably absorb the least is maybe fashion. I'm sorry to all you fashion lovers out there, but fashion is boring. So no to fashion, and yeah, to MMA and wrestling. And speaking of fashion, I guess perhaps a fashion trend that I hope ever comes back is probably some of the things that were in the 70s and the 80s and maybe even some of the early 90s. I myself was an early 90s baby, too young to remember though, but hopefully all that stuff in the past stays in the past and doesn't come back in the future because that stuff is played out now. How do I feel about billionaires? Well, I guess billionaires are awesome as long as they're not smug and arrogant and cocky and whatnot. But I'll give them all this. A lot of them genuinely worked hard to get to where they are, and I really feel like for the most part, most billionaires are awesome. For no repercussions, I guess a crime that I would want to commit freely for one day. I guess maybe stealing. I don't know. um, you get whatever you want for free. So I guess if I could really pick anything, I guess it would have to be that. How many hours should a person earn to make a living in our society? Probably maybe 20 a day for maybe 4 days a week, which is 80 hours a week. So you have four full 20-hour days of backbreaking work. And then you have 3 days where you can just relax and enjoy everything to yourself and with those that you want to enjoy with as well. So we all work hard for any 4 days and we all get any 3 days to ourselves or with whoever else we want to be with as well. And to take care of anything personal that we need to do or want to do or have to do as well. Make all the money you want, still have some free time for everything else and everyone else. Dude, racism will always be a problem to the end of time. Sometimes some people will openly admit that they're racist, and for the most part, most of the world kind of get along. All the races are able to get along, and some people just choose to stick to their own and not really have anything to do with others. Some people choose to deal with people not in their own because it's easier for them versus what they've dealt with all their life when they were with their own. But yeah, man, racism is always going to be a problem. It's been a problem in the past, still a problem to this day, going to be a problem in the future, unfortunately. So racism is just something we're all just going to have to deal with for the rest of our lives. The important thing is not to be racist ourselves and try to escape ourselves from people who are like that, because anyone who is like that, especially to you personally and your people, that's not someone you really want to have anything to do with. Loaning money to friends. Thankfully, all my friends already have jobs and are not in the position where they need to loan money from me. All my buds work and none of them are in that position and none of them probably will be in that position. And even if they were, I probably wouldn't really help them out. Not that I'm not a good friend for that, but for the most part, I probably wouldn't help them out with that. Now, me personally, I really hate asking people for help. I always prefer to do it for the most part on my own. I like everyone to see that I can do it myself. But everyone in the history of this entire planet will always need or always want or wish to want to have someone by their side to help assist them in some kind of way with whatever they need or whatever they want. And if you haven't been there yet, you may be there in the future. You may find yourself there in the future, regardless of what you are, who you are, how you are, what others think of you, what you think of other people, your race, your gender, your age, your nationality, your sexuality, your skin color, your size, your socioeconomic status, the way you act, the way you look, um, your speech, your socioeconomic status, your living situation, whatever. Every single person ever on this entire earth could always use someone to get some kind of assistance with. Even you could use assistance. Even me, I could use assistance in some way. I get assistance and I help other people. And so it's important not only to take the help the best way you can or to not take so much offense to it, but to also try to give help the best way you can as well. People really appreciate it, even if they don't say so. Deep down inside, they might. As for my capability, I feel capable just the way I am, just as capable as anyone else. But it doesn't make me any more or less capable than anyone else if I feel like I am more capable than the person that's there with me, than the average person. So I feel capable just the way I am. Something that I've done that I'm not proud of. So before I answer that, I want to start out by saying that no one on this entire earth is perfect, and no one who's deceased was perfect, and no one who's going to be born in the future will be perfect either. All of us have been there, you know. All of us have made mistakes, minor or major. We've all been there. We've all done something we haven't really been proud of. And even if you haven't slipped up yet, um, and you may slip up in the future, and if you don't slip up at all, kudos to you, but you're still not perfect either. We've all have not without our own faults that we are aware of, or that others around us are aware of as well, or others are aware of, but we may not be. So for the most part, most of us have been there. Now, as for me, I guess maybe what's been going on lately between me and my mother, it's been some words and fault on both sides and issues between both of us. So maybe what's been going on there on um, lately would be something I'm not proud of, and hopefully something I can be able to restore quickly. Now on to something more fun. Any movie character that I could be like or live a life like, probably Regina George from Mean Girls because she made being bad look so good, or Katie Heron. Well, Katie Heron. I was gonna say Casey Miller from We're the Millers because Casey was the most fun, or even Katie Heron. Katie was pretty cool as well. I like Katie. So Regina George, Katie Heron, or Casey Miller, and plus I like Lindsay Lohan. So there you go. So anyone of a celebrity status or public figure type that I would want to ban, dude, about 80% of the people of the world would probably want to ban Donald Trump. I, however, probably would have some UFC fighters in mind that I would ban, particularly Colby Covington, Sean Strickland, Juliana Pena, and Betchy Correia. Betchy Correia is retired, so I hope she stays retired. She retired 3 years ago. Hopefully she stays gone. As for the other three, Covington, Strickland, and Pena, so so they've all been champion material. They've all challenged for titles, interim champions in their divisions, whatever. But the three of them also talk the most trash. And Juliana Pena is one of the most feisty females, if not the most spiciest female in the whole UFC right now in the history of UFC as far as women go. And so I would really want to ban all three of them to another planet. For some reason, I also don't really like Angela Hill. Uh, Maybe it's because she has the most losses ever by a woman at this time. I don't know, something about Angela Hill I really don't like. So I would really want to banish her too. And finally, my reason for doing these video interviews are so awesome. It's interesting to give my thoughts on certain questions and just to be able to express myself to you. Um, as far as my thoughts on all these things. So it's really awesome giving my thoughts. It's fun, it's enjoyable. Some things may be a little emotional, but there's nothing on here that's not too uncomfortable or difficult for me to answer as well. And so I really love doing this. It's awesome. I really like it. And I thank you very much for listening to me today. Until next time.